This phone had been charging, so I wasn't able to record it putting up. But I essentially got the other shower door window up. In the meantime, or not in the meantime, after that, shortly, because I have more things to do with that. But I came over here because I had the drill bit, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to drill to make the holes. I just need to punch it, actually. The other three that were unpunched are now punched. Um, First of all, you're punched, so why are you not punched? You are punched, so like, okay, let me get this out. Apparently it wasn't punched all the way through. And theoretically, I would maybe punch one in the middle or drill a hole in the middle to put something, but I don't have a piece of rebar that thin. This plastic I don't really trust, blah, blah, blah. The one on the bottom, I had the sticks, and I'm just like, the sticks are kind of unnecessary. The one on the bottom, I think it's this one, that is broken on the bottom, which is fine, because now it's on the bottom, it's in the ground, right, Trudy? I'm going to move the strawberry that's there. I don't know if it'll take, but we're going to move it regardless. All right, so I was just going to try and squeeze it in, but I had to essentially move it out the way. I'm going to try and get some more soil to mount this up. I'm pretty much going to put on the bottom layer now. I don't have anything else to put on the top layers, right? Like, is this big enough for the strawberry? The strawberries get, like, heavy, right? So is this big enough for... Someone shooting. Is this big enough for 3 in each? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to mount it up, and then the stakes, and maybe other stakes, I'm going to use to just put in the holes around so the thing doesn't topple over. But I'm not going to fill the other ones, I don't think. I did decide to weigh each one down with a little bit of soil, not super full. I did move the one that was in the corner to the front, because this is probably going to get the, well, theoretically, I don't know about this height, get a lot of sun, because south is this way, east, west, so we're going to get a lot of light on the front, at least over here. I don't know about the back, but everything pretty much get a lot of light regardless. But also, we're supposed to go back to the regular cold temperatures in, like, by the 12th. Today's, like, the 8th or the 9th, I think. And I don't really have to care about things going off to the side, because we'll just weigh the rest of it down, if anything, right? Is the idea. Okay, and then the last one. And so pretty much, there's something in here that's like a purposeful growing. There's some, I think, self-seeded kale that didn't really come through this year, which is not a surprise given the lack of cold temperatures, but okay. So I feel like the sticks are relatively secure. We'll see if things fall over. It's not really the end of the world if things fall over with the wind. It gives me time to buttress it up and make it better. Of course, things will probably be a lot more secure with, like, heavy soil in it. But yeah, we'll see how that works, how this ends up working. Then I have space for other things if I want. Maybe I can make this like more of like a kitchen herb garden, as opposed to, like, I mean, yeah, we pretty much just had, like, the strawberries that did meh, and then, like, potatoes and some kale. The potatoes didn't do well last year, but this could be very easily like a kitchen garden type thing with, like, herbage, maybe some perennial herbs or something. I don't know. So, what I came out here to do today, was my main thing was, let me put up this vertical piece over here to prepare for this. I had marked previously, and I cut according to the mark. I'm like, if it's a little short, even better, which it kind of looks like it's a little short, but I don't really care too much. And then also I saw that I could straighten this out, which I did. So obviously we've got a lot of gappage. I think a lot of that is due to the time of the year, and this curves up here. So at some point I will have to either start shortening it or make like a level and then add. Probably do this vertical piece and then do the level and then add, but we'll see. And I have to figure out what I want for gaps. So I want to try and have, like, some type of, like, natural twine dip in like a wood glue or something. I don't know. Or if I just want to, like, get like a wood filler or a foam. I don't know still. Right. I think I kind of want to take this off and redo it again. I don't know. I like the idea of vertical slats. A whole bunch of things. I do have a bunch of polyurethane. I don't know that's enough to put it on this. I don't know that I should put it on this, because it's like, wood needs to breathe, right? We don't want moisture getting trapped and all that jazz. So I don't think I should, at least on the whole thing. Maybe parts. There's this portion right here that I knew was going to be a gap, and I'm like, I need to fill it with something. But as we see, it's uneven, and it doesn't. It's also like uneven gappage on the back, but that's fine, because I like it how it is now. Anyway, so I put it up, and I was like, oh, the lip here is catching. It kind of looks like it moved forward, the lip. Maybe I need to move it over. I don't know. I feel like it was more on the lip. Let's see. I don't think I have the space. So I need to add something to the back, and to the front also. Yeah, like a little piece, and then add it like onto the lip, a thin little piece. Anyway, I put it up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want this to fall because I had it just free hanging. I'm just like, if it falls and it ruins everything, whatever. So I added these two pieces on. They're just on the top and on a rounded piece of wood, on the front and on the back. And so even if the wind whips it back and forth wildly, it shouldn't break or fall out. And I have another piece over here that I'm going to try and add right now. So. So, I thought, in my mind, the other side, the other gap is going to have to be like a vertical piece. But maybe it'll, I mean, because it's not so wide like this one is, right? So this probably could get, if I could find one or two vertical pieces, how to affix them all is the issue. Probably just have to be subsessive, right? La da da da. But over here, that was my thought initially, is that I was going to have to do a vertical piece. Similarly, no, I think I can just do a bunch of horizontal slats. And I'm not going to do too much about trying to straighten this out, right? If anything, if I need to straighten it out with this one, successive ones, I'll just make them, and I might take this one off, and I'll put something behind it to make it flatter, because I don't think this is necessarily level, which, well, actually it might be. Anyway, the point is, I'll figure it out. And it's not going to be a perfect square. It's going to be my little rustic, as my mother likes to say, COVID chic cabin. But I'm going to have to do like this. I have to workshop gaps. I have to Google and workshop gaps, right? And then also back here, because, I gotta go over here again. I put this in here and I started to put this here. But there's this little like rubber piece here that I'm going to have to come and take out, that I was trying to take out. And I think once I take that out, I can, especially up top, I'll be able to push this in further. So I might have to wait on figuring this out. I do have like a little box cutter that I was just too lazy to go inside and get. So regardless, once that's in, I'll be able to push this in further, right? And maybe I did cut this short. Maybe I should have waited. But I think I'm probably able to be able to move it over. It's not that much of an... Or I'll just put a shim in there. That's probably the simple solution, is a shim. A shim is always a solution. So I need to find a bunch of shims. I need to cut that off. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to put the top portion on. Because I do. I don't have anything to angle anything in. I guess I could do one of the metal joining pieces. That seems like much. Anyway, this keeps moving. But I think I moved this in. But the point is, this is so disjointed. The point is that to keep that from moving, I did affix this way onto this. So this is now pretty secure. I need to finish this side to secure this as well. Right? And then eventually, I know, regardless of gaping holes, I'm gonna have to come with a lot of like a spline. Maybe I'm thinking for this, like just random take pieces of spline. Maybe I have to do. There's some gappage here because this is a piece. I need to get some like the wood filler caulk and fill up those gaps. But that's not the biggest thing, right? Because I don't necessarily want to make this the most. I do want to make this airtight and you know, for temperature control and insects, but closer than anything, I want to finish this up so I can be in here. Okay? Yeah, I'm excited. This was a big step. And I feel like I think after this is just going to be an issue of like cutting things. I do think I was reconsidering, but I still think I'm still going to go with my idea of making windows with the clear corrugation. And then I'll just be figuring out the roof, which in my mind doesn't feel like a big issue, but I want to get as much done as possible before the temperature dips, which is going to be like the 12th, which isn't necessarily a lot of time for me, but this feels like a big accomplishment today, so I'm happy with this. And I will be, you know, because this is about doing what you can with what you have, I will be reusing old nails if they're not too rusted, because a lot of them are not too rusted, and I will be using old wood that's not too ate up, so I can cut around it and I can fill in spots, right? So that's the idea, is as soon as possible, so I can get working on it. I'm going to paint the interior white. Paint the interior white. I'm going to... how am I supposed to get that big piece across? I have to get the roof. Oh my gosh, there's so much to do. But not also. I just don't have the time. So that's really just what it is. I'm over here putting things away, and I think it's come to me. I'm going to put a top piece and nail from the top. I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's the simplest solution. Like, I'll just nail from the top. There might be a gap. I don't care about the gap, but I'll nail from the top to close out the... That's the simplest... Why didn't I think of that? Oh my gosh. So actually, I was looking at this piece, and I was about to put it away. I was like, why can't I use this? And I have to find another one, I think, if I have another one. Or, it doesn't even have to be this big. It could just be like any random piece of wood. And I'll just, you know... I think I prefer maybe like a long piece, like one of the 2x2s, and then just and there we go, it's closed, and then it's just a matter of finding pieces for the top, right? So yeah, that's probably how it's gonna be in the middle. But first I have to cut this rubber thing off. I thought I could bend it, but it's not staying bent to like have it. It's not working. Yeah, so that'll cut off, and then I'll just go putting up blah 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 blah, and then I have to make the windows, because I don't think the windows need to go. The windows will take up a large portion of this. Yeah, and then we'll have to figure out about the wood for the roof. I might have to, as opposed to having a bunch of straight pieces, I might have to have a bunch of joint pieces. We'll see. And I have to probably get plywood. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't have plywood money. But you know, I can also just be really creative still with other things. We do have, they're probably not in the best condition, but we do have a bunch of, no, I can't really work with that. I have to be creative with what I have. It's going to be a lot of shaving and cutting and screwing. Yeah.